So, here we are, approaching 24 hours after yet another school shooting. And nobody's more distraught about it, at least nobody who aren't parents of the victims will say, more distraught or upset about it than me. I thought for a while I was getting somewhat desensitized to these things, but for some reason this one has me very much concerned and upset. And it has me wondering if there's truly anything that can be done about it. Because the country is absolutely divided. More so divided than it's been in certainly my lifetime. I wasn't around during the civil rights movements of the 50s and 60s. But I can tell you, I've never seen or heard of the United States being this divided. So how do we fix such an emotional problem or issue without dividing ourselves even further? Surely to God, we got smart enough people in Washington, D.C. to figure this out. And if you're going to come at this situation with the position that all guns and gun ownership should be outlawed, just shut your mouth now and move on. Because you're not going to help anybody or anything. All you're going to do is shut the ears of anybody on the opposite side of that argument. So if you can't sit down and talk to somebody about how to fix and stop this from happening, like a grown-up, reasonable, rational thinking adult, please shut your mouth and let somebody else handle it. So how do we fix it? I don't know. I have some thoughts and some suggestions, some opinions, and to me, they don't seem like they're that far-fetched. They're not that radical. We hear over and over about the unemployment rate of veterans. These people sign their life away on a dotted line to serve this great nation, are flown overseas, dropped in the middle of the desert in the Middle East, fight and defend land that's not ours for years of their life. They're trained in combat, they're trained in marksmanship, they're trained in counterterrorism, they're trained in crisis management. And it's not just that they're given a class, it's not just that they took a course somewhere. These people have literally spent years of their life doing these things. So they come back to the United States when their tour's done, when their time's over, and they can't find a job. Maybe it's just shallow thinking on my part. Maybe it's too simple of a solution. But shouldn't we offer these people who serve this country diligently, respectfully, honorably, a position of security in our schools? Are our children not worth a respectful salary and a health care package for these soldiers, these patriots that come home from the battlefield looking for work? Couldn't we open positions up in every school in the nation to have 1 to 3 to however many needed per square feet or per student to protect this horrible massacre from ever happening again? Is it that hard to figure out? The question arises, is 1 to 3 to 5 armed guards enough to stop this? I don't know, but can't we start somewhere to try to figure it out? Can't we start small and adjust the numbers as needed? Surely there's some money somewhere in this bloated budget to pay for this. We could rearrange expenditures, we could rearrange tax coffers, we could cut the benefits of our senators and representatives to pay for it, I'm sure there couldn't be too many citizens that would disagree with that. I would hope that you all wouldn't disagree with that. That's just a small suggestion from a uneducated guy like me. Another thought that I have on this would be that we could at least offer teachers some firearms training and defense training, and allow those who pass these courses and get certified by quality trainers across the country to carry concealed weapons in school on the job. If we had several armed veterans openly protecting the entranceways and doorways and windows and property of the schools, along with a dozen teachers who are trained and well equipped to do the same, to me, that would put an end to this situation that's become all too common in this nation, in our schools. Is it that bad? Is it that hard to do? Is this something we can't sit down and agree on? Politicians, rock stars, movie stars, they all have armed guards. We pay Secret Service agents all the time to protect our president, to protect our senators and representatives. They can't go to a burger joint or out for dinner somewhere without having armed security with them. And everybody's okay with that, but they're not okay with the idea of paying guards and teachers to secure our very children when we ship them off into these quote-unquote gun-free zones to then become sitting ducks to homicidal maniacs. What don't we get there? Simple question. What's your child worth? Is it worth paying someone to protect them or not? I know if my child was in public school, I would strongly consider yanking him out right now. I wouldn't want my kid to be going to a public school into a gun-free zone where our very own government doesn't think that they're worth protecting, or it's not safe for someone to carry a weapon in a defensive manner into a school, because we've never done that before. Well, we've never had shooting massacres at public schools over the years. When I was in school, just a short 20 years ago when I was in school, these things didn't happen. So many changes. Culture's changed. Society's changing and evolving or devolving. It's not improving. It's only getting worse. These massacres are only going to get worse with unlimited internet access the kids have, smartphone devices, social media that glamorizes and makes many celebrities out of these school shooters and murderers and maniacs. They're just going to continue to do it. So the question I'm asking, are we going to sit back and allow them to continue to do it? Or are we, as the citizens of this country, going to demand that it change? I'm officially demanding that our schools change. Security, armed security at every school. Arm the teachers in every school. If you're a teacher and you're against carrying a firearm, you don't have to do it. But if you're willing and desire to protect your students, you should be allowed to do it. I would fight for your right and your ability to do it. If you agree with anything I say on this video, could you please share, hashtag it, do whatever you gotta do. Get this word out. Social media is still a powerful tool for communication and activism. Please use it. Get it done. Change this, because our government officials won't change it for us. We have to be the ones that change it. And it has to start today.